Okay, so first up we have Adobe as the #1 AI stock of 2023 according to Forbes. Let's break this down. I drew these zones a few days ago. You can see actually it did pull up out of this zone, not quite all the way up to the 574, 575 area, but it did pull up and now it's pulled back a little bit. Seems to still have some support here. So let's break this down and let's see where it might be headed for 2023. So first things first, we gotta see our ranges for the month. Last month also closed very, very bullish through this zone, so that looks great. I do think the financials of this company is very overpriced, but we won't necessarily get into that in this video. We'll just go over the technicals here. So I think shooting for this main zone up here on the monthly, as it appears now, based on last month's close here, this is still a straight shot. This month will still probably be very bullish as well. You're looking at a normal range of about $75 a month. Last month it did 78. Previous month it did 106 in movement. Did 101. Yeah, so I think $70 to $80 is probably pretty good. I'd even shoot for 80. So if our low for the month, let's see, is about 520. We'll say 510. We'll say 510 is our low for the month. At the bottom of this zone here, if price comes down to this zone, we can delete this for now. If price comes down to this zone, that'll give us our 510 for our low for the month on our range, and then we're looking at, if we want to target 80, would be 590. So this is kind of what this month would look like, and then obviously our goal for the end of the year is this zone here. But we know our monthly range is good for roughly $80. So for the month, we can start here. Our monthly projection, because the year is going to be broken down into months, obviously. So we should only really target a month at a time to get a good good reflection and a good basis of where this is moving on the yearly. So break this down. We'll put a September marker here. We're looking to buy this for the month. This is considered the #1 AI stock according to Forbes, so don't know how true that is, but just based on that article, we'll go with it. I don't know all the depths. I just look at economics of technical trading kind of thing. So all these tech companies are very overpriced based on a lot of aspects. So take that for what it's worth, but we're just looking at the economics. And so I think based on the economic technical point, this is super bullish. Doesn't look like it's stopping at any point soon. I think 590 is definitely within range. I think this upper zone here for the target for the end of the year for sure is definitely within reason. You can see this was like the previous high for this company, and as AI develops more and more and they get more involved with it, I could definitely see it breaking the zone and keep going as far as value. If the money is flowing into the tech industry, it's going to flow more into AI than anything else this next decade for sure. So I think and Adobe is a leader, right? Like their applications, they have all their software. I use it. I use Premiere Pro. Their software is fantastic. So I can't even argue that. I think it's just overpriced, but price is subjective, right? If people are paying it, then it's not overpriced. So as a company, I think they're overpriced, but they're producing good products and people want that, and they're investing heavily in AI, so it makes sense. So I do see this hitting 590 this month. Right now our 510 area, between 510 520, or 510 515, let's say, that's kind of our supply zone for this stock. You can see it did come down a bit and did actually create a little bit of resistance here on a 4-hour time frame right here. And before printing this huge bullish candle today, this 4-hour candle, we'll see how price closes today, but I could see it closing pretty bullish as well, and kind of filling this gap a bit more. So we will see with that how that closes. But yeah, as far as a monthly projection, super bullish, headed to 590. Could definitely hit this upper area here, this 670 zone for the end of the year, I think, for sure. As long as it stays bullish and that money keeps dumping into the tech industry, even though interest rates are through the roof, it is possible, and things can be overpriced for a long time and just continue. So I think what's going to happen with a lot of these companies is that all the money flows to a select handful of companies, and then all the money from the other companies, flows out of it because they're just not practical. I think we're moving into a technical age. As much as I don't really enjoy it, I think the money will find these tech companies that are heavily invested in AI, and I think those companies are going to become so overpriced, but yet still continue to go up. Whereas the other companies that aren't, involved in AI and tech itself, they'll probably diminish a little bit. So that's Adobe. I do think it's going to hit 590 this month, and I do think it's going to keep heading up to about the 670 area for the end of the year. As far as AI stocks go, I think Adobe is definitely a good buy.